This program is proudly brought to you by PNG Motors, Gisdale International Hotel, and Telecom Limited.
Everyone, I am your host, Jaylee Sapies.
And I am Denzel Apelis. Good to have you back with us on the show tonight.
That's right. Welcome back to another episode of Sports Scene.
Episode number 10. Let's go.
Now, on tonight's show, we speak to a few of the junior tennis athletes that participated in the West Pacific Juniors tournament in Fiji last week. We chat with Cricket PNG CEO Richard Dunn and PNG Barramundi's coach Tatenda Taibu about international cricket as well as the men's T20 smash. And we witnessed the arrival of women's cricket team PNG Lewas. But before that, let's see what happened over the weekend.
Yes, now quick recap on some of the things that happened over the weekend and leading up to the show tonight. Now, the Aizu T20 Smash Grand Final concluded over the weekend. The Mariners defend their title in that T20 Smash, the Aizu T20 Smash, against the Kasauris. Asad Bala, the captain of the Barrows also, and Mariners coach and also captain, he took out the player of the tournament, leading by example yet again. Now, the PNG Lewas, they also arrived on Tuesday, which we will see that a little bit later on the show. Yep, and that's a quick recap for you for sports leading up to the show tonight. Now, let's take a look at the scorelines last week. As usual, starting with the NRL Round 6. The Roosters defeated the Knights 22 points to 20. Storms beat the Bulldogs 16-14. Broncos beat the Dolphins 28-14. And this game where Tips Logoraman Baga Warriors and Seagulls, they drew 22-22. Now the Eels beat the Cowboys 27 points to 20. Sharks defeated Rabbitohs 34-22. Dragons beat the West Tigers 24-12. And the Titans lost to the Raiders. Raiders 21, Titans 20. Now the Host Plus Cup. The WM Seagulls beat the Blackhawks 40 points to 30. The Devils came out on top with the Cutters and Dolphins 30, Pride 22. Falcons 48, big score against the Magpies, defeating them 48-12. With the Cutters and Bears, Clydesdales and Jets. Super Rugby, Moana Pacifica beat the Reds 17 points to 14. Waratahs 43, Crusaders 40, Hurricanes 36, defeating Chiefs 23. Rebels 47, coming out on top against the Highlanders 31 points. And that concludes our recaps and scorelines. Anyway, guess what? It's break time. So quickly prep for dinner, save your food. Maybe someone at the back needs salt. I don't know, check him out. Sports Soon will be right back after the break. Stay with us.
Welcome back. You're watching Sports Scene. The 14 junior tennis athletes who flew to Fiji earlier this month to participate in the West Pacific Juniors tournament arrived home last week with a total of 8 wins and 14 medals. We spoke to a few of them where they shared with us their experiences. The 14 junior tennis athletes that attended the West Pacific Junior qualifiers in Lautoka, Fiji, returned home last week with 8 wins and 14 medals. The top medals were awarded to Under 14 girls Kolita Hakena, Under 14 girls doubles Kolita Hakena and Adelaide Mesa, and the Under 16 girls singles winner Colin Hume. Standout performances were also shown by youngster River Jordan Hakena, who made his debut by coming home with the second place award for the under-12s.
Yeah, it was good. It was hard, but PNG boys, we did our best and we came second.
Another outstanding performance was displayed by under-12 female, who made it her third time representing the country, Indiana Kayulo.
It felt good because the first 2 years we went to Fiji, and we never got a trophy or medal. So it felt good getting something this year.
Both juniors made acknowledgements to their loved ones and expressed they would not have represented their country if it wasn't for family.
Yeah, thank you for my team. Yeah, thank you really for my team. Thank you for my support, and my sister Colita. She's playing the J30s. Thank you, Colita. And my mom and dad for supporting me with all the funds, and my team for always getting me back.
I would like to thank my dad. Because of him I got selected for the third time this year, so I'd like to thank him for coaching me and for preparing me for this year.
Now there you have it. A lot of talent there for Tennis PNG.
Definitely. 8 wins and 14 medals. Now that's a lot. The future looks bright for tennis, definitely.
That's right. Now, on to rugby union. We visited the home of PNG Rugby Union Bava Park over the weekend, where we spoke with CRU officials about the preseason as well as CRU's plans moving forward. The Capital Rugby Union competition is heading into its third and final week of pre-season this weekend.
We've been having good matches this past 2 pre-seasons, and yeah, it's been a good pre-season so far.
The CRU officials have confirmed 10 men's teams for the 2024 season, with the inclusion of Connie Sharks, who make their return to the CRU comp, while the women's division break away from the CRU.
We have 8 confirmed women teams. That competition is exciting in itself because it'll be a standalone competition for the women up down Pomis, and it'll be sponsored by New Power, and it's one of the major sponsors for our Capital Rugby Union Women's Division.
Bava Park will be hosting the men's competition alone this year, whereas the women's will be hosted at the Port Moresby International School Oval.
Yep, so the women will have a standalone competition for themselves. Yeah.
The CRU acknowledge the effort and support from their sponsors and are excited for the 2024 season.
The sponsors for this year, Moniplus and Pepsi, I think they've come back on the board. They trusted the direction we took last year, and they are really giving 100% again this year. The other big one was New Power for our women's competition up there. It's really good what they're doing with the women's code and what they're trying to do to grow it. Yeah.
Rugby Union stepping up their code, and definitely sports is on fire this year. We'll be right back after a quick break, and we take a look at cricket again and their plans moving forward after the conclusion of the Isuzu T20 Smash. We'll be right back after the break. Stay with us. Welcome back to Sports Scene. It's cricket time, people. The Isuzu T20 Smash concluded over the weekend. The tournament was successful, even through some weather-related delays. Now, with me on panel tonight, we have the man himself, CEO of Cricket PNG, Mr. Richard Dunn. Good to have you back on the show. How are you?
Hi, Denzel. Good to be here.
Awesome, awesome. And we also have this gentleman right here, the orchestrator behind Barramundi's successful preparations towards the T20 World Cup, former wicketkeeper, batsman and captain of the Zimbabwe national cricket team. Ladies and gentlemen, Barramundi's coach, Tatenda Taibu. Welcome to the show. Pleasure to have you on the show tonight.
It's good to be here. Thank you.
Awesome. Now let's get straight into it. The T20 Smash concluded over the weekend. How was it? How was it all together? From you, Mr. Richard.
Yeah, I mean, it was a great event. We had some challenges, I think, as you said, with the weather. Lots of rain. We had to reschedule 2 or 3 rounds of the games, but in the end we managed to complete the group stage on Thursday and Friday, and had a really nice day for the finals on the Saturday. So all good, and thanks to EMTV for the live coverage. I mean, that's our intention, to try to get cricket out and about in the community.
Definitely, we've been seeing a lot of cricket on TV, especially for MTV. That's good. How about you? As the coach of the Birds, how was it seeing the players playing amongst their countrymen again and putting themselves back into the domestic level?
Yeah, I was more interested to see what we've got coming up, especially the under-19s and the Garamas that are preparing for their own qualifiers. So to see a mixture of the Barramandis players mixed with the younger players to see if the younger ones will be able to rise up to the challenge. So we really have talent that's coming up. So that was interesting for me to see.
Nice, nice. And what can we expect for the under-19 players? What do they have planned moving forward?
Yeah, I mean, our under-19 men who played here go to a qualifier, Division 2 qualifier for the East Asia Pacific region in July this year. They win that event, they go forward to the main qualifier, which is in early 2025. So a great opportunity, but I think the success story of the whole event was young Puka Junior, who took 5 wickets, including 3 Barramundis in one of the games, 5 for 7, which was an incredible performance. He looks like a great player for the future for us.
How about that? What are your comments on that one?
Well, yeah, it's a name that we did comment about. Obviously, when someone is taking wickets as a bowler or someone is scoring runs as a batter, you tend to notice, and especially if they're a younger player. And no one had taken 5 wickets in the tournament, up until he did. So for him to do that on the final day of the tournament was obviously amazing.
Wow. I think he also scored the winning runs, didn't he, for the team too?
Yeah. So the time that he came in was quite difficult. He just needed to, the team needed someone who would hang in there. And then he did that. He showed a lot of courage. He just, did all the right things. So when you see something like that, you know that, you've got one for the future.
Definitely. That's really good to hear, especially. And then we have also the captain of the Bars leading by example, claiming the player of the tournament. What do you guys think about that and his performance?
Well, Asad has been a seasoned performer for the Barras, for PNG. And again, he showed it leading by example. As a captain, it's not so much the decision making that's more important. I think the performance is more important. So I believe that as a batter, you're a batter before you start changing fields. You're a batter before you start, asking the bowlers to come in and bowl. So, and he's done that. So he was leading from the front with the bat, and when he bowled, he took wickets. So he was making sure that he did his performances well before the extra responsibilities of the captain, and for him to get player of the tournament, that's really pleasing to hear.
Nice, awesome. Now we also had the Levels returning from their tours. We had a chance to speak to Brenda, their captain, at the airport as they returned on Tuesday. How do you think about their overall performance in their tours?
Yeah, I think a real learning curve to go away and play 6 matches, 3 ODIs and 3 T20s against a full member nation in Zimbabwe. I think they got better through the series, and they finished up. They had a good win in one of the games and made the T20 series 1-1 and going to a decider. So I think they might have done that a bit hard. They lost 2 wickets on the last 2 balls, and they had to win a super over to make it through. But they showed a lot of resolve, and I think a lot of learning. And then they went to the UAE and defeated the USA in the first one, and unfortunately had a bit of a downturn in the game against Scotland. But pretty tough circumstances for the girls on that second half of the tour. I think most people would know about the loss of Kaya Arua during the last week or so, and so they were pretty much affected by that. Kaya had been a teammate for a long time, so all credit to the Labours girls and Brenda, who led them through that difficult time and still managed to win one of those 2 games in UAE.
Definitely. Now, as they're back, we know that registrations were open for the Isuzu T20 Smash for the women's, and it has already closed. Tell us about it.
Yeah, what we've tried to do in both the men's and women's events is to have an opportunity for anyone, basically, who plays cricket within PNG to nominate themselves. They need to send in some sort of record. I'm not sure, Denzel, whether you want to nominate next year, but they send in some details, and then we have a look at who those players are and if any of them are worthy of making it into one of the teams. So again, it's an opportunity to spread the word and to spread cricket and to make it available to the public and the community of cricketers out there. The women's one has closed. I believe we had somewhere around 35 to 40 separate nominations, which is pretty good, I think, for the first time around. So we'll finalise those sides today, and they'll be announced tomorrow.
Definitely. Now we hope the weather is more kind to us when we run the matches for the women's moving forward in the tournament. Is there anything else that you would like to mention in terms of cricket moving forward, or anything at all that you'd like to mention?
Look, I think the focus for us has been domestically over this 6-week period, and it's been good to see the coverage and to see it out there. But clearly, we've got 3 big international tournaments coming up, 2 qualifiers, one for the Cialis in Indonesia. So they're there from the 7th to the 21st of May in Bali, which sounds like a good tour to go on. But the Garamuts then go to a qualifier in, I think, early July. But in between that, obviously, we've got the big event in the men's T20 World Cup in the West Indies, and we're all excited to be a part of that. And I know the boys in the team and Tatenda are all ready to go. A bit of final preparation in the West Indies before the start of the first round, and hopefully things will be really good. It's a tough ask, but it's exciting too.
Awesome. How about you, Mr. Taibu? Any remarks before we close off?
Well, just support from the general public. Just back the Barras, back all the teams. Follow how the teams are doing, and show your support in whichever way you can. If you want to put up a flag at your houses, at your windows, just to show, so that the boys and the girls, when they go out on tour, they know that they've got the whole nation behind them. So they've got something extra that's pushing them to perform and to push a little bit harder.
Some very good comments there from the Barras head coach. And thank you so much, both of you, for being with us on the show tonight. And let's look forward to more growth for cricket in PNG.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Now stay with us. We'll be right after the break, and we'll take a look at the Lewas arrival at the Jacksons International Airport. Stay with us. We'll be right back after the break. Welcome back to Sports Scene. Now it was good to be updated a bit on cricket in the last segment. Now we're going to look at the arrival of Lewas at the Jacksons International Airport. We were able to go down there and be with them as soon as they touched down in Port Moresby. And this is what their captain had to say about their plans moving forward and their experience through the tour. Let's take a look.
Warming scenes from Jacksons International Airport as families and friends welcome home the PNG Lewas from their international tours. Happy to be back, Lewas team captain Brenda Tau shares her views on the tour.
It's been more than 5 years since we last played ODI, so having the chance to play, going out there and showcasing our talent and given the opportunity, we made use of it, but mostly we learned as a team and as individuals.
And of course, the highlight of their tour was their maiden win against Zimbabwe in the T20 Tri-Series face-off.
Honestly, the girls were speechless. Even I was speechless. We had a moment of tears of joy, because it was indeed a history made by the PNG Lewas. We have never beaten Zimbabwe, and having the chance and beating them, it was honestly a history for us. And I'm pretty sure it's actually one of the highlights in our own career that we won't forget.
After completing their matches in Zimbabwe, they travelled further to the United Arab Emirates, where they met again with their former opponents, Team USA.
We played against them in 2022, I think, in the World Cup qualifiers, and we did beat them. And then having the chance to go out there again and being successful in the tournament, in that game, was honestly a pretty great moment for the team, and we really enjoyed it.
Brenda further expressed her views on the younger under-19 players in the Lewas squad.
Oh yeah, honestly, it was really amazing going out there and seeing, what they can do for the country. They obviously have the talent, that's why they're selected, and being around them and having them as part of the team is really great. And we intend to keep them with the team, because they'll be great players in the future. And it was honestly a great opportunity for them and for us to also see what they can do for the country.
Looking forward to the upcoming Women's T20 Smash, Brenda further encourages the younger players who would be taking part in the upcoming tournament.
Yeah, well, just keep going out there, give it your best shot, keep working hard, you will never know that one day you will be wearing the PNG jersey and representing your country, so just, heads up high and keep working hard.
All right, we've come to the end of our show. Let's check our weekend preview, starting with the most favorite, the NRL Round 7. Let's go. The Roosters face the Storms. That's happening right now. And tomorrow, we have the Dragons. They face the Warriors. And the Eels will meet the Dolphins also. On Saturday, the Panthers go up against the West Tigers, Titans versus the Sea Eagles, and Broncos and Raiders. And on Sunday, the Bulldogs face off the Knights and the Sharks meet the Cowboys to conclude the NRL Round 7. We have the Rabbitohs on bye. Moving on to the Host Plus Round 6, Pride versus the Devils. Hunters face off against the Dolphins right here at the Santos Stadium. Jets face the Seagulls. Bears face the Magpies. Cutters versus the WM Seagulls. And Falcons face Blackhawks. And the Tigers meet the Capras to close off Host Plus Round 6. We have Clydesdale on bye. Super Rugby Week 9 on Friday, we have the Fijian Drua. They meet the Hurricanes. Reds versus the Highlanders. And on Saturday, Blues face off against the Brumbies. And the Force meet the Crusaders. And that concludes our weekend previews. Now, locally, more domestically, we have a couple of things that are happening also, like we also mentioned earlier. The Hunters, they're going to have their second home match against the Dolphins at the Santos Stadium.
That's right. And then on the same day, we have PNG NRL into the round 2.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And I think the CRU continues. That's the final week of their preseason, and then we're heading into their season proper.
Which starts next week.
Definitely. So I think that pretty much concludes what we have to expect in the coming weekend.
All right, so that's what we have coming up this weekend. Now, before we go, if you have a sports-related story you'd like us to cover, please contact us on 312-9229, or you can Facebook us, email us, or drop by our office at Level 2 Garden City here in Port Moresby. All right, that's it for tonight's show. We hope you enjoyed our company because we certainly enjoyed yours.
Especially when, NRL is already on at this time and you're here with us. That means a lot to us. Thank you so much. Always a pleasure to have you on Sports Scene.
That's right. Do join us next week, same time, same place, right here on your number one to watch. Good night, from Sports Scene.
This program was proudly brought to you by PNG Motors, Gazelle International Hotel, and Telecom Limited.